Hey everybody, I am going to attempt to make this video while holding my phone. It's gonna be difficult. It's Sunday morning. I leave for work in a little under an hour, and having some tea outside. I'm at George's right now, here in the woods, trying not to get ticks on me. They're really bad this year. The dog has already had several on her, only going a couple feet from the front steps. I was gonna go out to the house today, to check on stuff and, take a couple things, but I'm like, what's the point? It hasn't rained. It's not, gonna go anywhere. The house isn't going anywhere. I just emailed my ballet teachers. I've had to come to a really difficult decision. As I said in my previous video, I have a roof and ceiling replacement that came up unexpectedly this past month, and the cost of the work is gonna be extremely expensive, and I only have part of it and have to figure out how I'm coming up with the rest to cover it. And I'm either gonna be in debt to my contractor, or if I can find the funds to cover it, I will be completely flat broke once the work is done. I did apply, as I said, to a local nonprofit that gives grants to low-income homeowners to do major repairs. There's no guarantee I'll get that. A lot of those programs have limited funds, that sort of thing. I also don't know if they're actually distributing any funds right now because of COVID. I know a lot of government programs to do with buying a home for low-income home buyers dried up with COVID. I don't know about repair programs, and I don't know about nonprofit versus government programs. If, with the economy, if things have stayed funded, I have no idea. So I had to make the decision that once the current session of classes is up, I'm gonna have to step away for a prolonged period of time, somewhere like 6 to 8 months. It'll depend on what comes up in my life. If other crazy things or repairs or whatever come up, my car does need new tires, and who knows what else could come up in the next year. A lot of crazy stuff has happened to me already in the last year and a half, 2 years. But right now the plan is 6 to 8 months of stepping away from ballet classes, in-person classes, in order to recover financially and start saving again so that I can recover from, either being in debt or being completely broke. I have fought really hard in the last couple years through everything that's happened with my living situations to keep dancing, and there's an expense to that. It comes at a cost, and it came at a cost of having a place to live that was safe and secure, that I could afford. And at this point, I have a roof that has to be replaced, and I don't have much of a choice, because if I don't replace it, it will continue to get worse. I have a ceiling that's not up in the bedroom, and the insulation is full of mold, and I have to address these things because they are safety and health hazards. So all of that has to be taken care of in the next few weeks. This is like one of the hardest decisions I've had to make. Yes, it's a little easier now because COVID kind of gave me a taste of what taking a break is like. In the beginning of the pandemic, I had to take a break because the studio closed, and I started working from home and taking classes from home and choreographing my own stuff from home and giving myself class. And so I have a taste of that already. During the time in which I was buying my house, I took a 2-month break to focus on that, and because I was under so much stress. So I have a taste of what it will be like. I just have to figure out how to motivate myself to work from home to keep my strength up, so when I go back to the studio, I'm not starting back at square one. Yeah. I don't really know what else to say. That's what's happening right now. I figure if I take time off, I can save maybe almost an entire paycheck per month into savings. And I already had a plan that, you know, there are 4 months in the year that you get 5 paychecks. And I was already working up some type of budgeting plan where I budget myself very strictly to 4 paychecks and save the 5th one 4 times a year. So with that, then being able to save over the next 6 to 8 months from not having ballet, not having the expenditure of the classes and the gas because my studios are far from where I live, it will help me save even more. And then if I save my tax return from this next year, if I save, you know, whatever holiday money I get from family or from work, you know, just try and be really strict with my budgeting, I can start to recover in a very significant way. Another goal is that when the ceiling is replaced in that room and once the roof is done and everything's under control, I can then rent that room. That was the room that was originally the room that I was planning to try and find a roommate to rent the room. And it's the bigger bedroom. It is technically the master bedroom, and I chose the smaller bedroom because I preferred it. Turns out the room that I was going to rent is the one that had the mold in it, and that has the ceiling currently not in it. So once all that's taken care of, I will have a room that I can potentially rent, and then I can save even more if I'm able to find a roommate that works with me. It's very hard to find, especially at, you know, over 30 years old, and I'm almost 35 years old, finding people that you jive with to live with. You know, even in college it was hard. I had so many different roommates in college, and you know, half of them were fine and great and we got along, and the other half were terrible. And then this past year, like, I had a roommate that I did not get along with. I currently live with George. We seem to get along fine. You know, we don't really seem to get in each other's way or anything like that, or piss each other off or anything like that. So it's just the personalities have to, like, jive and all of that. So I can find somebody that I would prefer, someone that I know, not a complete stranger, somebody that I know I get along with. We have very, you know, similar interests and similar ways in which we live, similar ways in which we keep our environments, all that kind of stuff. That would be great. And I could rent that room for a prolonged period of time and start saving even more and completely recover, and then put all of those funds towards all the other work that has to be done in the house, because having to cover the roof right now, I can't do the foundation, I can't do the garage roof, I can't do all of the other little things. I can't replace the toilets, I can't fix the floors that are messed up, I can't, you know, do all of the little things that aren't as immediate but over time will continue to degrade and will need to be addressed down the line. I can't do those right now. So being able to find ways in which to save and recover, and in a year or 2 years have enough to put towards those projects, is important. So that's where we're at. Yeah. Anyway, it's a nice morning. It's gonna rain later. I think it's gonna start later tonight. So at some point I'm gonna have to go check the house because of the roof, but so far there hasn't been any leaks. We had a lot of rain in the last few weeks and there have been no leaks. So that's a good sign that it was just a ventilation issue, that there are no active leaks is a good sign. Still don't know what they'll find when they remove the roof, when all the shingles come up and all the plywood comes up and they see what's going on under there. There's still no way of knowing if I was headed towards a leak. If there's been previous leaks that were patched, there's no way of knowing until the roof is completely off the house. So yeah, keep your fingers crossed that I hear from this program, because then I won't have to take this break. But there's no way of knowing at this point, you know, until I hear back or until I call them, you know, in a week and say, hey, did you get my pre-application? What's going on? Are there funds available? Can I get help for this or not? Yeah, that's where things are. And I hope wherever you are is a nice, wonderful, sunny day and you get to get out into nature. I will be at work until 8:30 tonight. So this is my moment in nature, and I will say George won the location Olympics. he won the location lottery, because look at this. Look at these beautiful woods. Oh, look. The location of his house is ideal. It's so beautiful here. It's like a fairy forest, and the cottage I stayed in on the river is like, you know, down just 2 houses down the road. This entire street is stunning, and like, if there were a little cottage on it still somewhere for sale, which there's not, there are none left on this street, but if there were, you better believe I would be working my way to getting that, because this is the most gorgeous area. And I have a wasp that's trying to touch my phone. I think he wanted a cameo. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday, and your week to come is wonderful as well. And I will join you in another video and keep everybody updated on the progress of what's going on with my house and my life at this point. I will see you guys later. Bye.